Hi guys, and welcome back to 100 Lit. I'm your host, Queen J. This is our 29th episode, so thanks for joining me. Please welcome author and CEO of Wecant2wecan, Trinity Jagdeo. Really would like to welcome you to 100 Lit.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Trinity. I'm 19 years old, and I have a nonprofit organization called From Wecant2wecan. I started that nonprofit when I was 17 years old, so 2019. And I did it because I have a best friend who has spinal muscular atrophy. And she inspired me to really represent her community. So I decided to publish and illustrate books that feature kids with disabilities and special needs as superheroes. And a portion of the proceeds that I make from those books, I donate back to a family in need. And along with those things, I also host events, yearly events where I include the special needs community, so it's really catered to their specific needs.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh, wow. So you started this, you said, from what I read, from what you said, you started Wecant2wecan when you were about 17.
Yeah, so I've known her since we were in kindergarten. And first that I met her, I noticed how she didn't let her disability weigh her down. And so I noticed that disability shouldn't be pointed and picked out, they should be normalized. So upon being her friend, upon being other people's friends, special needs and disabilities, I learned a lot of different things about them, how, having their specific needs and things like that, it's really a financial burden for families because, insurance only covers but so much.
Right.
And I also, learned how they don't get representation as much as, other people and different cultures and things like that do. So there was one specific incident where she was in a life or death battle in 2014. She's in a hospital for 6 months. And so we were trying to find things to do. I was almost in the hospital with her every day. So eventually we got bored, and she didn't really have anything to inspire her or push her or motivate her or any role model to look up to while she was going through this time. So it was about, I think, the day after I reached out to Disney directors, I wrote them a letter and I made a video, and I didn't get a response. So I decided to take matters into my own hands and create superheroes with books because I felt as though that was the easiest way to get started. So books were my first kind of kicker.
Yeah, because books are awesome, obviously.
Yes.
So that's great. I mean, so you didn't get a response from see?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's great that you took that into your own hands and just
you
know what? I'm going to make sense. You're not going to do the representation. I'm going to put that representation out there because
exactly.
You're right. A lot of people with special needs or even learning disabilities, even in education where I work, they don't necessarily get what they need. Like their parents really have to fight. And a lot of times,
exactly.
Yeah. And a lot of times their parents don't know what exactly to say. They're like, what do I do? What do I say? How do I know that my child isn't getting this? What am I supposed to look for? So that's really helpful because that humanizes people. I mean, it's like what I'm seeing lately is places like Amazon putting out anti-racism books. That's great.
Right.
But what about a book that just puts people of different ethnicities or different lifestyles or special needs or learning disabilities, just put them as people. That might do something. I'm weird, right? Everybody, we're all people. Why not just put their stories out there? And you're doing that, and that's great. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So was there a time that you kind of realized that you wanted to be a writer? That you were like, yep, that's what I want to do?
It's not necessarily that I thought this is what I want to do. It was more of this is what I had to do because I didn't want anyone else to write the books because I felt as though I knew the stories. I knew how to word it. I knew exactly what I wanted, how to come across. Especially with this subject, it can be very hard to relay what actually goes on and also make it a children's book. So it was kind of doing research and things like that, other children's books, seeing how how it played along in their books and things like that. And then I just really, I've always loved writing. I've always been a big journaling things and When I was young, I loved to like write and create my own stories and things like that. So I definitely had a love for it already. But it wasn't like a specific point in time where I was like, okay, I want to be a writer now. It was like, okay, I have to write these books. And so that started when I started with the organization when I was 17 in 2018.
Wow. So you were like, I gotta write. I gotta get this out because nobody else is gonna do this the way it needs to be done. That's awesome. That is like the most awesome. I was gonna say awesomeness, but like I'm an English teacher, so I can't say awesomeness because that's not a word. But that is the most awesome reason to get into writing anything, because it's like you I don't remember what author said this, but it's like you have to tell the story. Like it'll just burn you up if you don't. You got to get it out.
Right.
So yeah, is that kind of what you? That's kind of what you feel like.
Yes.
Okay. So what does your schedule look like? Because you are like kind of doing a lot. So what does your schedule look like? Particularly, I mean, when it comes to making time to write and then time to research and then time to also run the nonprofit, what does your schedule look like? How do you manage it?
Right. So it's very, very hard, especially being young. But when I first started my first book, I didn't have, because I was just starting the organization, I didn't have like too many events so I could focus. I'd probably spend, I'm going to say 2 to 3 hours, but it's probably more than that a day between writing and illustrating. And then, so that would be almost every day. But I still had school. I was still in school at the time that I created my first book. So now that I'm not in school anymore because I graduated in 2019. Thank you. I'm trying to think. I can't really remember what it was like, but I just know as a person and having this nonprofit organization, I'm always running around. There's always a meeting. Today I had 4 different interviews. Last Tuesday I had 4 different interviews. It's just all over the place, but I love it. Like I've always been used to an active lifestyle. I've always been used to, being around. So I definitely feel as though like God was preparing me for this because I'm nonstop. Right before this, I had to go pick up a gift basket for my new event that I have coming up. And then within the next couple of hours, I have back-to-back interviews and I'm on a radio show. And that's almost like every single day for me. But I love it because I'm creating representation. I'm talking about the books. I'm really, opening the gateway for a whole bunch of, different types of representation. But definitely when I'm writing, it definitely gets even more hectic because it's like, how do I write? How do I research? And how do I do all these 4 different types of events every single day? But it all gets done. And I couldn't be more appreciative of, just being able to find the balance and people helping me out here and there. But I definitely have a busy, busy lifestyle. And I love it.
I read that you feature some of the kids you work with. You feature them in your books.
Yeah.
I guess I don't want to ask what's your favorite, because I guess it's like asking, do you have a favorite kid? And
right. I usually don't. Yeah, I usually don't, just because I just love all of them. Like, I created these superheroes. I know these kids individually, so I love all of them as a whole. They're all my favorite, is what I usually say.
Aww. So like the research is like second nature to you. Because you're just talking to them, and then you're like, they're telling you their stories, and you're featuring their stories.
Exactly. So with the first book that I had, that I wrote, it was kind of based off of a childhood friend, but it wasn't like directly. So I still do my own research on the Down syndrome community, right. And then I was able to put it into my book and like the different things that it takes to help a person with Down syndrome to learn, or different ways that they can play that maybe other kids can't. You know what I'm saying? So like I had to research that so that when I put in my books, I was representing this Down syndrome community correctly, or as best as I could, because every person with Down syndrome is different. But for the most part, representing them overall, I had to make sure I did my research. But then when it comes to like other people and things like that I'm actually like, talking to, it is secondhand nature. I know a lot of the kids, and so they tell me their story and I relay the story. But my first book, I kind of based it off of a childhood friend, so I had to make sure I did extra research, as I wasn't necessarily getting information from her, but I still did research on the Down syndrome community and made sure that I related to the best of my ability. and still told the story that to the best that I could. But as far as the rest of them, I had a lot of the kids just talking to me and, telling me, what they want in the book or, what they really like. And so I'm making it really personal for the most part. And, and then, like I said, for the most part, I already know as far as like their disability and things like that. So it's, pretty easy to put in the book at that point.
Wow. So you hear from your readers like all the time.
Yeah, I hear from my readers. I hear from people that order it from all over the place. I've had a lot of support. But yeah, I do hear from my readers when people say that they really love the book. It does definitely mean a lot, especially since I know that they feel as though they're being represented correctly. And, I've had teachers buy the books and things like that. I think it's a good fit for their classroom as well. So I'm definitely happy about the outcome.
We need the diversity and we need the inclusion for every community.
Absolutely.
Because like we were saying earlier, a lot of times people don't do the right thing or give the right response because they don't know. And they're looking at that, they're trying to approach like teachers even. They try to approach one student the same as another. But
right.
They don't want to do that. Most good teachers don't really want to do that. They just don't have the resources.
Right.
So then they're trying to figure it out. They have to do research on their own. And it's hard on any community with any kind of difference or disability. This makes it that much easier, and I love that because it's like just humanizing these children. Like,
absolutely,
because they're people, just
right.
because they're all just people, and
right.
like any other person, they learn differently. They like certain things. They have hobbies. Learning a lot of times is really that first step in just knocking down those barriers. It's the first step. So, what do you like to do? Because you are doing so much with running
yes.
the nonprofit meetings. Making sure these children are taken care of and these families are taken care of, and then you're writing to make sure they're also included and making sure that people are learning about them. What do you do when you're not doing all of that? What do you like to do? Or is that it? Is that just like that's just my thing?
For the most part, I feel like that's all I'm doing, just scheduling things and stuff like that. It's surprising how, making phone calls and things like that. But I would say, I like to, as far as like free time, I like to watch Netflix and probably do some online shopping. But other than that, that's a little far and few and in between because, it's like when I can do it, I do it. But other than that, that's basically it. But if the gyms were open, I'd be at the gym a lot. But the gyms aren't open, so they might be for some people, but not for me.
Yeah, some of them are, but not for us.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, let's just take the workout home. But anything on Netflix influence what you write at all, or influence an idea you might have?
I'm trying to think. I feel as though there was something, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I would say in general, I just read any type of like children's books and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen too many Netflix shows that like really represent the disability community. There's really not any like of those famous shows that like you could name. And if they have a special needs character, it's like someone that's off to the side, that doesn't really kind of show up. But I guess, like I said, I just like read children's books to like add to make sure that, it's, something that kids will still enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, I have a little sister who's 2 years old, almost 3. So, like, she's got her shows running too and, like, things like that. I'll pick up on things like, oh, that's cute. Like, I put little jokes in my books as well. So I kind of, like, just a mixture of different things. But there's not anything that really is on Netflix that's too representative. I think there's a new show on that I wanted to start watching. And I think it's called Dating on the Spectrum. So I believe it's, like, people who are on the autism spectrum that are dating or something like that. So I definitely want to check that out and see how that goes. But It's a lot of people that influenced my books and things like that. Definitely people that I know and hearing their stories for the most part.
Okay. Have you thought about, since you don't see that on Netflix, have you thought about maybe pitching a show based on?
If I knew how to,
your book?
Yes.
I was thinking, I'm like, why don't you pitch it? Because
I wanted like I said, my ultimate goal was to reach out to Disney directors, and I wanted to create not a story, but a princess, and work alongside them, like help them create like a movie or something like that, like a Disney princess or a Disney prince. That was my ultimate goal. Like, as far as pitching a story, I have no idea how to even do that, but I would absolutely love to do that.
So YouTube might be a good start. I mean, just do it on your own, true. And then let it gain traction, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is great!" And then next thing you know, like, you got it.
Yeah,
just a
that's
thought.
A good idea.
I would be your first viewer and say, I interviewed her. Said, this is the day. I interviewed her July 13th, 2020.
Yes.
I'm just going to throw that out there. I'd love to watch that show, and I know a lot of people would
love
to watch.
Thank you.
Watch the show and read books about it. So where can listeners and learners as well, learn more about you and Wecant2wecan?
Yeah, so my website has a lot about me and how I got started, and different things that a nonprofit does. Wecant2wecan.org has all the information that most people like ask about and things like that, as well as our Facebook page. It's all of our social medias are Wecant2wecan, so it's super easy to find. But we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel, but yeah, they can definitely go and learn a lot about my organization and who I am on my website.
Okay. And your books too, they can get them.
Yeah, our books are on Amazon, but we also have direct links that they can click on our website that'll take them right to Amazon.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure learning more about you and your books and what you do and why you do it. Like, that's awesome. And I really still think you should, like, don't forget that idea.
Trust me, that's definitely a big goal in the future.
Yeah. Thank you again for just coming and sharing more about you and your books and Wecant2wecan, because what you're doing is amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course, anytime.
So that was it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you'd like to learn more about Trinity Jagdeo, her books, as well as the organization Wecant2wecan, the information will be in the description. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe and have a wonderful day.